AP Cram, the AP Human Geography exam, free response question 33, Global Division of Labor and the Socioeconomic Structure of the U.S. To get a head start on next year's APs, or for late test date takers, or just to review for your current AP classes, inbox me at memedicine@gmail.com. And if I have availability, I'll be able to connect with you or also inquire about purchasing exclusive review materials. Economic restructuring is transforming the world economy. Identify and explain 6 different ways the new international division of labor has impacted the socioeconomic structure of the United States. I'll give you a moment to formulate some thoughts in your head. Jot notes if you need to. And definitely press pause if you're writing out some answers. One area of impact is the unemployment rate. This is kind of obvious, so I'll give you a moment to formulate your answer in your mind and write it out. Again, you'll hear me say this a gazillion times. Press pause if you need to. Job losses affect the middle class because a lot of these jobs are being outsourced or offshored to overseas firms and corporations for less, okay? And the remaining management and service jobs that are here in the United States further increase the income gap. All right? Okay, so a second impact on the socioeconomic structure of the United States post this restructuring of the world economy is in the area of deindustrialization. So I'll give you a moment to think about how this can be and write out an answer. Press pause if you need to. Well, regional unemployment requires retooling or re-education into tertiary and quaternary sector jobs. So if a lot of factory jobs are being offshored, then these unemployed workers have to be funneled into other service areas. Quaternary and tertiary sector jobs are service area jobs. Tertiary area job tertiary sector jobs make up about 70% of employment here in the U.S. This includes government, entertainment, real estate, law, public health, mass media, financial services, insurance, banking. Okay, any area where people invest their time and efforts to make a process better. And quaternary sector jobs are very knowledge based. They typically involve like technology, IT, information generation. I guess I would be considered quaternary sector based on what I'm doing here. Media, research and development. And it can also include consultation, education, and finance. Okay, so some of these roles overlap with tertiary sector job. That's just a little bit of background for those of you who are not familiar with these terms. A third impact on the socioeconomic structure of the United States post economic restructuring into this new world economy and new world division of labor is in the area of profits. But what I'm asking you, the answer that I'm trying to get you to elicit may not be so obvious. So formulate your thoughts, write out an answer statement. I'll give you some time. So basically, there's been a drive for profits via division to LDCs or less developed countries, combined with consumerism to swell retail jobs here in the United States. However, retail jobs are largely part-time and they don't provide any benefits. Okay, so when you send a lot of technical jobs over to less developed countries, it limits the amount of service jobs left here in the US. Okay? All right, so a fourth impact on the socioeconomic structure of the United States after um, this phase of economic restructuring that the world has experienced in the world economy and the world division of labor is internal migration. Okay, so how does internal migration flow, or how has it been flowing in the United States? I'll give you a moment to formulate and write out your answer. Well, there's been migration from areas of unemployment to areas of employment, especially from the Rust Belt to the Sun Belt. And the Rust Belt is like this region over here. It's a term for the region straddling the upper northeastern United States and the Great Lakes region, okay? And the Midwest states referring, whenever you hear Rust Belt is referring to economic decline, population loss, and urban decay due to the shrinking industrial center. So if all these little specks and dots represented factories prior to 1986, then they would be traveling southward here to the Sun Belt. All right, the Sun Belt is named as such because all the states along this line receives a high amount of sunshine from Florida to Cali, okay? And this region is just, again, noted for a shift from businesses from these northern regions, Rust Belt areas, to these warmer southern regions, okay? Shout out to Florida. Okay, so a fifth realm of impact on the socioeconomic structure in the United States after economic restructuring into a world economy has to do with the area of labor relations. I'll give you a moment to think of why this is and formulate and write down your answer if you have an opinion. If not, just sit tight. All right, so a decrease in membership in and influence of labor unions. Again, because if corporations are able to contract their labor overseas where most of the time labor unions aren't required, then that's what they're going to do. So, they're not obligated to observe every safety law that a labor union might uphold. And some employees don't even want labor unions because a lot of the times there are mandatory membership fees that come out of your salary. Okay. So, a sixth impact on the socioeconomic structure in the United States post economic restructuring into a worldwide global economy is in the realm of consumption. So this term might not be so obvious or familiar to a lot of people, but those of you who do have something to say with regard to this, formulate and write down your answer. I'll give you a moment. All right, so the availability of less expensive goods has changed the standard of living. There's so many different things that are available to every socioeconomic status. Poor, middle class, and wealthy can basically get the same goods, yes, different quality, but no longer are most, I don't know, um, how do I put this? There's not a lot of commodities nowadays. Well, maybe I'm misspeaking, but basically everyone can get similar things, just different qualities, different price ranges for different socioeconomic statuses, okay? Sorry if I confused you on that.